Hi everyone, just doing a commentary while doing a Rathma run. I don't have many pots because I don't need it. Quite well geared for this fight. Definitely over geared for this tier. This was pretty lucky. Basically running Blade Sentinel, Weapon Block, Burst of Speed. This is a +1 on my deck, on my claw, which is super nice. So I'll try and talk us through the strategy as we go on. So all of this, just attacking, try to dodge as much as you can. Here, they take about 2 hits usually. You can sometimes get them together. As usual, when he has the, what's the aura? Sanctuary or something? Salvation. It means he can't take damage. Just pot when you need. I have, I think it's 150 PLR, so the poison balls don't really do anything to me. Try to stay close during this vine phase. The reason is it's possible that he does the cold wave, which can push you out into here. And that hurts a lot, even on tier 0 like this. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Maybe that was 3. And just keep damaging him, keep moving. Be inside the, what is it, radius of that. And then he's done. Pretty short. What was that? 4 pots. I've used only 1 in the past. At this point, I fill up everything. Try to get my stash all sorted for phase 3, which is where I'll need 4 antidotes. I take 2 extra because I'm a bit paranoid. One of the earlier runs I didn't have enough antidotes and I died because of that. I fill up the cube. These all fund my declone if I do them. Of course, you can also sell the pots if you need. This part takes a wee while if you're going to fill up. If you don't want to fill up, then it's no stress and just run straight through.
I can't carry anymore.
Realistically, I could do all of phase 1 and phase 2 probably on the belt, or maybe belt pots plus a few. It is worth being cautious in these interphases. These mobs can spawn with what's it called? Conviction, which will hurt a lot. And there's not going to be anything more humiliating than dying in between the actual phase. So I'm full, just clearing. Didn't get enough antidotes, but that's okay. Hit through. Aim here is that there's multiple different bone spear phases or kind of casts. And then there's 2 different types of teeth. So there's very slow bone spears, single bone spears. There's slow bone spears kind of in a somewhat of a fork shape. And then there's the bone spears where he tallies bone spear. No, bone spear, tally, bone spear, tally, bone spear, tally. And that's always something like that. We'll see anyway. Also to be cautious of in here is that the Void Knights can spawn the purple ones. They deal physical damage. So if you're like me and you have very little poison damage reduction, they hurt a lot because they also cast Amp and Decrep, all which stack the physical damage. If everything groups together, the Blade Sentinel kills them really easily, and you can use her to kind of distract them when you need. So, see how this goes. So tally, bone spear, tally, bone spear, tally. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 bone spears. That's 1 of the teeth, that's 2 of the versions of the teeth. Very slow bone spear. These are the guys. Some of them have 2 purple hands. They're the worst. You're hoping, of course, for poison, the green, and cold, the blue, because you'll probably have stacked. I'm pretty sure these blue are all fire damage. And again, if you want to distract them, she does a really good job. I would say if you're doing higher tiers, having reflected on it a little bit, she's going to be almost essential for the higher tiers. I've done tier 1. I used her a decent amount. It was not a very fluid run. Very slow bone spear, there you go. And they're grouped here. This makes life super easy. Very slow bone spear, and again we have, so this is the kind of fork, but maybe that's actually just an extension of the first one. That's all done. That's 3 pots. Clear this space for antidotes. Yeah, now you can rush through. Which is actually, this can be pretty time consuming because they'll deal pretty decent amount of damage. Let's see. So the purple guys shoot white, just to be clear. That's why I'm taking so much damage from them, because I'm amped. So now I'm all potted up. Now basically just run to find it. Usually I start always from the right. For whatever reason lately it's almost never been on the right. Sometimes cast her just to allow me to go faster. Boom. She takes so much. And here it is. I usually clear this just because I don't want to go in with damage sitting there, like lowish health. Usually just takes a pot to clear me right up. And here you have the phase of the vines. That's the most dangerous part. At the vines, Rathma will also spawn Void Knights. That's the time to cast your shadow, if you've got it, so that you can focus on antidoting after the poison nova and shooting down the knights. There's also the skeleton, which deals fire damage in a fissure type pattern that you want to avoid if possible. Again, we'll see. Here we go. Now they share life. So when I'm like this and I'm damaging both of them, it actually does a lot of damage. Here I can get all 3. Here you see a lot of shit going on. There's the poison nova. Oop, almost died there. So I've got the purple ones for this game. This is annoying because they just deal so much more damage than anything else. I like to keep my pots up here just because it's not worth stressing. There's the poison nova again. Again, if you can get 2 in a row like that, that's super nice. You can see they die really quickly. Oops. The good thing is weapon block will block a lot of, I mean, it's about 50%. And I think that should be the last phase. And easy peasy. So just as a clarification, low resist is 25 in T0. So you'll see this should go up to a 101. Yep, there we go. It scales with difficulty. So in T1, I think it's 29. T2, not entirely sure. Yeah. You can see how fast they die. I actually skip some phases in there, and sometimes if I'm attacking them both at the same time, it can mean that I get 2 sets of knights at the same time. That's pretty rough. So it's not always recommended. I don't have very high damage, yet this is basically necessity to reach full res. With any luck, I can get an ethereal one at some point so that it has the lower requirements and I don't need the Hell Rune, plus it'll deal a lot more damage. So I think that covers pretty much everything. We talked about, so there's Poison Nova, Vines, Cold Wave, Golems in P1. Collect all the pots, fill everything up if you aren't already. You don't need any antidotes for Rathma. Rathma, just avoid the bone spears. There's the 2, maybe 3, if it's a different thing, sets of bone spears. The tally one, just run in circles. You'll be fine. The damage is nerfed from the very beginning of the season. There's the fire damage on the floor, if you can avoid that. And Void Knights, be prepared for the physical damage from the purple ones. If they're grouped together, some intelligent shooting can get a couple in a row, and then you might only need a little bit of time to kill them. Otherwise, an emergency, do that. She's pretty nice. Then you have the 2 of them together. You could see basically you damage them both. They share health. So just to clarify that, if you damage men down, Rathma will also be damaged. I think it's not all the way, because sometimes I've killed men down and then Rathma is still at like a 5th health. So there's something else going on there that I'm not entirely sure about. But if you get them together, then of course they get damage, like double damage essentially, which is nice, but makes the fight faster. I think probably this phase 3 is maybe the fastest damage round just because of that. But it just gets messy. So this is where the faster run walk of Burst of Speed comes into it, and I'm kind of prioritizing that over Fade. Fade feels comfy, but getting decrepit with Fade, that's not a fun time. Claw block, weapon block is the MVP of this. Having 50% chance to block anything, which includes the poison sludge, the nova, the bone spear, the everything. This is huge. Like 1 out of 2 you block. Decreases the amount of pots, will save you in many situations. If you think about it and you get hit by bone spear and the poison sludge at the same time, one of them, in theory, will be blocked. That's huge. That decreases your risk by a huge amount. This I never use. This is on Stalkers. Okay, hopefully this is interesting. If you have questions, please feel free to let me know, and I'll see if I can help. Cheers.